Have you ever wondered how sausages are made? From the butcher's block to the package on the store shelf? It's not as simple as you might think. From blending the perfect mix of meat and spices to getting that casing just right, a lot of work goes into the production to make sure every sausage tastes fresh, flavorful, and ready for you to enjoy. In this video, we'll show you the entire process, starting with the raw ingredients your favorite sausages are made of. How are the meats chosen, and where do the spices come from? What happens in the factory to turn all those ingredients into the sausages we love to eat? We'll take you on the behind-the-scenes process to see how everything is mixed, stuffed, and cooked, all the way to the moment those sausages are packed up and ready to ship. But there's more to it than just stuffing meat into casings. There are a lot of checks to make sure the sausages are perfect every time. And you might be surprised by some of the technology and techniques that make this happen. So if you've ever been curious about the manufacturing process of sausages and how they get from the factory to your plate, then you are with the right video. But make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our behind-the-scenes videos. We promise to always deliver top-notch behind-the-scenes videos of how our everyday products we use and eat are made. So, let's go. To understand how sausages are made, we need to begin with the basics, the raw ingredients. At the heart of every sausage is a combination of meat, spices, and casing. But where do these ingredients come from, and how do they get to the factory? Let's start by breaking down the raw materials involved in sausage making, how they're sourced, and why they're so important to the final product. First, let's talk about the meat. Sausages can be made from a variety of meats, such as pork, beef, chicken, and even lamb or venison, depending on the recipe. The quality of the meat is necessary to the sausage's taste and texture. In many factories, the meat is carefully selected from trusted suppliers who meet high standards for animal welfare and sustainability. Some sausages use only fresh meat, while others may also use trimmings from other cuts of meat. These trimmings are finely ground and mixed with leaner cuts of meat to create the right texture for the sausage. When it comes to pork, for example, a lot of sausages are made from the shoulder or belly, as these cuts have the right amount of fat to ensure the sausage is juicy and flavorful. Fat is the main ingredient in sausage making, as it keeps the sausage tender and juicy when it's cooked. Without the right balance of fat and lean meat, the sausage can end up being dry or tough, which is why choosing quality meat is essential. Next comes the spices and seasonings. The variety of sausages available today depends largely on the types of spices used. These ingredients can include salt, pepper, garlic, paprika, and herbs like parsley, thyme, and rosemary. Spices can either be blended together in the factory or sourced as pre-made mixtures from trusted suppliers. These seasonings are added to the meat to give each sausage its unique flavor. Some sausages have a mild taste, while others are more bold and spicy. Where do the spices come from? Spices are harvested from plants grown in warm climates, often in regions such as India, Spain, and Africa. For example, paprika comes from dried peppers grown in Spain, while garlic is often grown in countries with rich soil, like China and California. These spices are properly grown and harvested, then dried, ground, and mixed to preserve their flavor before being shipped to sausage factories around the world. One often overlooked ingredient is the sausage casing, which holds the meat and seasonings together. Casings can be natural or synthetic. Natural casings are made from the intestines of animals, typically pigs or sheep. These are carefully cleaned and prepared before being used in sausage production. Natural casings add a nice snap when you bite into the sausage, giving it that familiar texture. On the other hand, synthetic casings are made from materials like collagen or cellulose. They're often used in modern factories because they're easier to handle, more consistent, and don't require the same level of preparation as natural casings. The quality of the casing is just as important as the quality of the meat. In many factories, casings are carefully inspected before being used. If a casing is too thick or damaged, it may affect the way the sausage cooks and even the texture of the final product. Natural casings also tend to give sausages a more traditional appearance and texture, which some consumers prefer, while others may opt for synthetic casings for convenience or dietary reasons. Now that we understand where the meat, spices, and casings come from, let's take a look at how these ingredients are prepared and processed before arriving at the factory. But how do factories ensure that the meat and casings are of the right quality when they arrive at the factory? Quality control is a key part of this process. When meat arrives at a factory, it's typically checked for freshness, texture, and color. If the meat doesn't meet these standards, it is rejected or sent back to the supplier. Similarly, spices are tested for flavor and consistency, and casings are inspected for any tears or weaknesses. This ensures that only the best ingredients make it into the sausages. The sourcing process is vital for ensuring the quality of the sausages. When suppliers and factories work closely together, they can guarantee that only the freshest meat, the highest quality spices, and the most reliable casings are used in the production of sausages. By taking these extra steps, the final product will be flavorful, safe to eat, and of the highest quality. After the raw materials, meat, spices, and casings arrive at the factory, the next phase of sausage making begins: processing and manufacturing. At this point, everything is prepared and mixed to create the flavorful sausages we know and love. But what happens in the factory to turn these ingredients into sausages? Let's break it down step by step. First, the meat that has been delivered to the factory is ground. Large cuts of pork, beef, or other meats are fed into a grinder where they're minced into small pieces. This grinding process is essential because it ensures that the meat can blend evenly with the spices and fat, creating the right texture for the sausage. The grinder works by pushing the meat through sharp blades, and as it comes out, the pieces are finely minced, ready for the next step. Once the meat is ground, it's time to mix it with the spices. The sausage mixture needs to be perfectly blended so that every bite is packed with flavor. This is where the spices like garlic, salt, pepper, and paprika are added to the ground meat. The mixture is blended in a large mixer, where the ingredients are thoroughly combined. The meat, fat, and spices are mixed evenly to create a smooth, well-seasoned paste that forms the base of the sausage. Now, here's where it gets interesting: machines. As the meat mixture is being prepared, large mixing machines do the hard work, ensuring the spices are distributed evenly. These machines are designed to handle large quantities of meat and are capable of mixing it at a consistent speed. Without these machines, the blending process would be slow and less consistent, affecting the final flavor and texture of the sausages. Can you imagine how many steps it takes to get just one sausage ready? From grinding to mixing, each part of the process requires precision to make sure everything comes together just right. Once the meat and spices are mixed, it's time to move on to the stuffing process. This is where the sausage starts to take shape. The prepared sausage mixture is fed into a sausage stuffer, which is essentially a large machine designed to stuff the meat mixture into the casings. The stuffer uses pressure to push the meat into the casing, filling it evenly and ensuring there are no air pockets inside. The casings, whether natural or synthetic, are loaded onto the stuffer and automatically fed onto the machine's nozzle. The sausage stuffer works at high speed, allowing dozens of sausages to be formed in just a few minutes. The casings are filled tightly, but not too much. There has to be just the right amount of meat to give the sausages their ideal texture. Once the casing is filled, the sausages are twisted at regular intervals to form individual links. These links are the sausages you see in the store, ready to be packed and cooked. Even though the machines do most of the work, workers are there to monitor the process, making sure the casings aren't too tight or too loose, and that the sausages are formed correctly. If a sausage link doesn't meet the required size or shape, workers remove it from the line and make adjustments. They also keep an eye on the machines, ensuring everything runs smoothly without any hiccups. Once the sausages are formed, they go through a cooking or smoking process. Depending on the type of sausage being made, the sausages may be cooked, smoked, or left raw. For cooked sausages, they are placed in large cooking machines, often called smokehouses or cookers, where they're heated to the right temperature. This cooking process helps to seal in the flavor and ensures that the sausages are fully cooked and safe to eat. If the sausages are smoked, they are hung in special chambers, where they are slowly exposed to smoke, giving them their exact flavor. The cooking or smoking process is an important part of sausage manufacturing because it not only affects the flavor, but also ensures food safety. Automated machines control the cooking temperatures and smoking times to ensure that every sausage is cooked evenly. This level of control makes sure that each sausage, no matter where it's made, tastes the same and meets the high standards required for retail sale. After the sausages are mixed, stuffed, and cooked, it's time for the assembly line, where everything comes together in a high-speed, well-organized process. But what takes place on the assembly line? How do those sausages go from being links of meat to packaged products ready to hit the store shelves? Let's take a look at the sausage assembly line. The first step in the assembly line is the sorting process. As the sausages come off the cooking or smoking racks, they're moved onto a conveyor belt, where they are sorted by size and shape. This is done both by machines and human workers, who check the sausages to ensure they meet the required standards. The machines are programmed to detect any abnormalities, like sausages that are too small, too large, or misshapen, and remove them from the line. Workers also inspect the sausages visually, ensuring everything is up to standard before they move forward. Once sorted, the sausages move onto the next part of the line, where they are linked together or bundled. For sausages that are meant to stay in long links, the casing is twisted between each sausage to keep them separate but connected. Some sausages, like those sold in packs, are grouped together and then bundled. This part of the process is a combination of machine work and human skill. The machines automatically link the sausages, but workers make sure the twists are tight and secure, ensuring the sausages stay in place during packaging and transportation. Now, here's the fun part: robot-assisted assembly. With modern technology, many of the more repetitive tasks in sausage production are taken over by robots. For example, some machines grab the sausages and place them onto trays or into packages, making sure everything is packed quickly and efficiently. These robots move fast, but they're also designed to handle the sausages gently, ensuring they don't get damaged in the process. Some lines even use robotic arms to pick up bundles of sausages and move them to the next stage. You might be surprised to learn that these machines don't just move the sausages. They also help ensure they're packed, making sure each pack is as full as it should be. Even with robots doing some of the heavy lifting, human workers still play their part in the assembly line. They oversee the entire process, making sure that everything runs smoothly and that the machinery is working properly. If anything goes wrong, whether a machine breaks down or the sausages aren't packed properly, workers are there to step in and fix the issue, ensuring the line keeps moving. The blend of human skill and machine efficiency is what makes the assembly line work so well, allowing sausages to be produced at an impressive speed while still maintaining quality. After the sausages are made, they don't just head straight to the shelves. There's an essential step that happens next: quality control. This is where the factory checks that every sausage, whether it's a single link or a whole pack, meets the right standards. But what is the quality control all about? And how do factories ensure that everything is perfect? The quality control process begins as soon as the sausages are made. After the sausages are stuffed, linked, and cooked, they're first inspected visually. Workers look over each sausage to ensure they're the right size, shape, and color. Any sausages that appear misshapen, overstuffed, or undercooked are pulled off the line and set aside for further inspection. But the checks don't stop there. It's not just about how the sausages look. There's a lot more that needs to be checked before they're packed and shipped. Texture is another important factor. Sausages need to have the right bite, not too soft or too tough. To check this, samples are taken from the production line, and the texture is tested by squeezing or pressing the sausages. If they feel too mushy or too firm, they're flagged for further examination. But how can factories be sure the texture is perfect every time? Here's where the machines come in. In many factories, automated texture analyzers are used to test how the sausages feel. These machines mimic the squeeze test that a human would perform, but do it at much greater speed and consistency. The machines use pressure sensors to detect any abnormalities in texture that might not be obvious to the naked eye. If something feels off, the sausages are removed from the line for a more thorough check. Then comes the taste check. Though it might sound surprising, tasting the sausages is part of the quality control process. A team of tasters randomly selects sausages from the production line to make sure the flavor matches the recipe. The seasoning and meat mixture are evaluated to ensure that every sausage tastes as it should. If there's an off taste, the batch is reviewed, and adjustments are made to the seasoning mix before it continues down the line. What if something goes wrong? What if a product doesn't meet the standards? It's easy to imagine that an entire production line would have to stop, but that's not the case. Factories have processes in place to fix problems quickly without holding up production. For example, let's say a sausage doesn't meet the texture test. Instead of throwing the whole batch away or stopping production, the sausages are sent to the rework station. Here, the the sausages may be reprocessed. This might involve adjusting the filling mixture to get the texture just right, or even sending the sausages back through the cooking process to make sure they're properly cooked. The beauty of the system is that it helps maintain the speed of production while fixing any issues without causing a major disruption. Another scenario might involve sausages that don't meet the color standards. If the sausages are a little too pale or too dark after cooking, they're pulled off the line and examined. If the issue is related to cooking temperature, adjustments are made to the cooking process to ensure the sausages cook evenly. In some cases, sausages that are too dark may be sent back to the grill for a brief period to ensure they reach the ideal golden brown color. One common issue in sausage manufacturing is air pockets in the casings. If air pockets are detected, it can affect the texture and the final product. To fix this, the sausages are often punctured to release the air, or the casings are adjusted to ensure a tighter, more even fill. Any sausages with air pockets that cannot be fixed are discarded, but this is rare due to the careful checks performed during manufacturing. In all these cases, the important thing is that the sausage doesn't leave the factory until it meets the quality standards. Workers and machines work hand in hand to ensure that even if there's a small issue, it can be corrected without slowing down the entire process. If a problem is serious enough that it can't be fixed, it's removed from the line, ensuring that only top-quality sausages reach the packaging stage. Real-world examples of defective products show just how seriously the factory takes its quality control. Imagine a batch of sausages that's slightly overcooked, leaving them dry and tough. Instead of allowing them to be packaged and sold, these sausages are carefully examined to determine if they can be fixed, or if the whole batch needs to be discarded. While this may sound wasteful, it's actually part of the process that ensures only the best sausages make it to the store. In fact, traceability is a huge part of quality control. Every sausage batch is logged and tracked, so if any issues arise, the factory can trace it back to the source. Whether that's a specific meat supplier, a seasoning batch, or even a machine setting. This helps factories find the root cause of any problems quickly and fix them to prevent it from happening again. Finally, quality control is about more than just checking for defects. It's about ensuring that every sausage, no matter where it's made, tastes the same and meets the standards that customers expect. It's a combination of machine monitoring, human inspection, and a commitment to getting everything right, which ensures that sausages are flavorful, safe to eat, and of the highest quality. After the sausages have been made, tested, and approved, they're ready to be packaged and distributed. But packaging isn't just about putting them in a box. There's a whole process behind getting them from the factory to your table. Let's take a look at how sausages are packaged for retail, transportation, and customer use, and the choices made to ensure they're ready to reach the store in top condition. Once the sausages have been passed through quality checks, they move to the packaging station. Here, the sausages are placed into the appropriate packaging, depending on whether they're sold individually or in larger packs. For individual sausages, they're often placed in shrink-wrapped plastic packaging. This type of packaging is sealed tightly around the sausage, ensuring it stays fresh, and the plastic film is transparent so you can see exactly what you're buying. For sausages sold in multi-pack containers, several sausages are grouped together, and these are often packed in plastic trays. The trays are then covered with plastic film, which is heat-sealed to keep everything secure. This type of packaging helps protect the sausages during transport and makes them easier to stack on store shelves. The plastic film is also clear, which helps customers check out the sausages inside and make sure they look fresh. The materials used for packaging are an important factor. You might wonder, what materials do they use for packaging? And how does it affect the environment? The reality is, a lot of sausage packaging is made with plastic, which is durable, lightweight, and keeps the sausages protected from contamination. However, as we all know, plastic isn't the most environmentally friendly material. Many factories are working toward using more sustainable packaging. Some have begun switching to recyclable or biodegradable materials, like paper trays or compostable film, to reduce waste and environmental impact. These materials are designed to break down more easily in the environment, making them better for the planet compared to traditional plastic. And some manufacturers are even using recycled plastics to create their packaging, reducing the need for new plastic production. Still, there's always a balance between protecting the product and being eco-conscious. Packaging has to keep the sausages fresh during transport, which often means using materials that can hold up during long trips. That said, more companies are innovating and coming up with ways to reduce the environmental footprint without compromising the safety or freshness of the product. Now that the sausages are packed, they're moved into large shipping boxes. These boxes are made from cardboard, a material that's both sturdy and recyclable. The sausages are placed into the boxes, and the box is sealed shut. For larger orders, several boxes might be stacked onto a pallet. These pallets help make the transportation process more efficient, allowing for easier handling and stacking in delivery trucks. Once packed and sealed, the boxes are ready to be loaded onto trucks or shipping containers. Distribution is the next step in the process. Sausages need to be transported quickly and safely to avoid spoiling, which is why temperature control during transportation is critical. The boxes are typically stored in refrigerated trucks to maintain a cool temperature and keep the sausages fresh. The sealed packaging also ensures that the sausages stay intact and don't get contaminated by the outside environment. Whether the sausages are being shipped across the country or around the world, the packaging ensures that the product stays safe, fresh, and ready for the consumer. Once the sausages arrive at the store, they're placed in refrigerated sections where customers can pick them up. Moreover, the packaging helps make sure they stay fresh on the shelf, even if the store's busy and the sausages are sitting there for a while. And once you get your sausages home, the packaging continues to do its job by keeping the product safe until it's time to cook. It's interesting to think about how much work it required for the packaging to be done just right. Have you seen any changes in how products are packaged in recent years, whether it's in sausages or other foods? There are so many cool innovations out there, and many companies are working to make packaging more eco-friendly. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let us know what packaging changes you've noticed, and if you prefer more sustainable options. Once the sausages are in their packaging and ready for distribution, it's all about getting them to the customer in the best possible condition. The right materials, the right design, and the right balance between protection and sustainability all come together to ensure the sausages make it to your kitchen, fresh, safe, and ready to cook. We've taken you through the entire process from selecting the meat and spices to the final packaging and distribution. Now you can see that making sausages is a long process that requires a lot of steps. It starts with sourcing the right ingredients, including fresh meats and flavorful spices. These are blended and stuffed into casings, where they're cooked or smoked to perfection. Along the way, every sausage is tested for quality to ensure it's up to standard. The assembly line helps speed things up, using both human skill and robot-assisted machines to shape, stuff, and pack the sausages. Packaging is just as important, ensuring the sausages stay fresh and safe for transportation, while also focusing on sustainable practices to reduce environmental impact. From there, the sausages are ready to be shipped, delivered to stores, and finally, enjoyed by you. Do you have any product in mind you want us to bring up next? Let us know in the comments. We're always curious to hear what interests you. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos on the process idea of the everyday products we eat and use. You won't want to miss the next video. Stay tuned